Hello, beautiful human. I am backstage here, Tomorrowland Media Center, with genuinely one of the biggest DJs on earth. You've heard his records. You know his work. Say hello to Jax Jones, everyone.
Hey, thank you, mate. Thank you, Zach.
Well, thank you for being here. How is music different in 2025 than it was when you first started?
This is
Loaded question,
This
bro.
is a loaded question.
Well, because one of the first things I said to you was like, I remember playing your songs on the radio.
Yeah. I remember when I first started out, and downloads were just finishing up, and streaming was just a glimmer in everyone's eye, and everything. I've now been through, I would say, 2 or 3 changes now, and yeah, I never thought I'd become that guy. I'm grateful that my career has been that long.
Has there been a consistent thing that has stuck true through all the phases of music that you've experienced?
I would say yes, up till maybe the last 18 months. I'm still trying to figure out what today is. I think the main thing now is just the amount of competition there is, all on the same platforms that you're competing with. So like where you talk about the radio, there's a bit of filter, and you know, it would in theory be the best of what was being released at that time is being put on the playlists. Now on platforms, you're competing with every single artist, every single person who isn't doing music is doing music, all on these different platforms.
The democratization.
It's just crazy. And yeah, you got to work 3 times as hard to have 10 times as hard to have a third of the hits.
Okay. Growing up, you were a straight A student. You could have taken an academic path and you chose not to. Does any of that skill translate into what you do? Like, being as studious as you were, being as diligent as you were, I'm assuming attention-oriented as you were, detail-oriented, does any of that make you or help make you a good artist?
It's a good question. I think it's a gift and a curse being academic as an artist. The gift is you've got an analytical brain, so you can... I'm interested in the business of music. I'm interested in all facets of music, whether it's the theory side, the execution side, and even marketing. I love it all. The downside is sometimes you don't allow your artists to come out because you think too much. So it's a yin and yang. But I would say it's why I've been around for a while, is I'm able to think at points. You know,
Totally.
I feel like a lot of the artists that stick around for a long time are definitely quite smart, because you have to make moves in this game.
Well, I think a big part of being a DJ is being a full step and a half ahead of where culture is currently, because you need to understand where it's going.
I think that's what's hard now, though.
Totally, because
nowadays my personal feeling is there's not much of a monoculture like there used to be. So you used to have the song that everyone was listening to. There'll be certain records, whereas you could have a song that's like going on to 1 billion streams, and there'll be people that have never heard it.
Well, use one of your songs as an example. Like, dude, Love the Way You Lie. Like, there's a lot of records. Like, there's a lot of records of yours that have hit crazy streams. But, like, do you think if they were released today, they would have the same impact and power?
We found no. They're definitely harder. It's like you usually back in the day, if all your friends loved the song, if your label loved the song, if your loved ones loved it, 80% of the time it was going to be a hit. Now you have to line it up with culture in this really clever way, or jump on some momentum for it to like do the damage, which is heartbreaking actually, because I would like to say we know that a song is good, but that isn't enough nowadays.
Totally. You grew up in a very interesting household, very multicultural. Was it hard for you to convince your parents to let you do this?
I mean, I got kicked out of the house for it. It was like the end of my relationship with them, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
And where is it today?
It never became a fairy tale, you know, where we all hug and kiss by the fireplace, but it's cool.
I mean, but a part of them has to be proud, no?
I think they're proud, but I think success is an interesting thing, because, you know, when you're being an artist, you're kind of objectified. And it's a thing. So you have aspects of your personality that are amplified. People have an idea of what you are, what your life is, and all that kind of stuff. And that can extend even to your family. You'll be at the barbecue thinking it's like downtime, and people are making an assumption of who you are, what you're going to be like, you know, if they're not speaking to you intimately all the time. So it can be tricky.
What do you think the biggest misconception is that people have of you?
Of me? What would you say biggest misconception people have of me? They think I'm American.
You're definitely not.
Definitely not American.
No offense.
Yeah.
Well, probably it's offensive to be called
Oh,
American.
and they also think I sing on all my tunes. Like
definitely
Jax
don't.
Jones is a singer. I've sung once.
Okay.
I'd done I sang on a song with Fireboy DML called Me and My Guitar.
Is that scary for you?
Oh, it's crazy scary. I did a German live TV show singing live, and I was bricking it.
So why do you do it?
I gotta push myself, man. Like it's like I grew up on so much music growing up. It's very hard for me to just stick doing one thing. Although there's value in it, you know. I was listening to Clips' album, and I rate that these two brothers who are 50 years old can still spit about basically coke rap in so many different ways. It's like an exercise over 20 years. Me, I'm different, man. I like to do whatever I want, when I want, and I'm going to try it. If it's scary, I'll probably do it.
And by the way, like to align that with larger culture is not always...
It's tricky, man. Yeah. We're still figuring it out, but the best thing about the democratization about music is you can get the music out very quickly.
Totally.
You don't have to wait too long. You just upload it.
But is that a blessing or a curse? Because there is something to holding on to a record, right? Like Martin was here the other day and he just played a song that he did with Alesso, but he's had the song with Alesso for 2.5 years. Like you can understand the potential timelessness of a record if you sit on it for long enough and it stands the test of time.
We're still working on that one. I've got records that are, my favorite story of that is I did a song with Ella Henderson years ago called This Is Real. And I remember I wrote that song 7 years prior. She just had that mega hit Ghost.
Yeah, dude.
With Ryan Tedder. Wrote that. Shout out to Ryan Tedder, one of my heroes. And her label didn't want to do it with me. And so I just sat on the song. I had a vocal from Selena Gomez on it, which was amazing. I thought, this is it. And then they didn't want to release it. And I remember saying it to my label, this is a smash, trust me. And Ella said, all right, like give it to someone at radio. And I remember the Shazams went crazy. And then it went on to be a top 10 in the UK. It was great.
By the way,
7 years later.
we love a Shazam.
We love a Shazam.
Shazam's changed your life too. Didn't you find a vocalist via Shazam?
Yeah. In supermarkets.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, that's the one, man.
So who did you find? And what was the
We
record?
found Zoe Weiss. She's from
Casual.
Germany, amazing vocalist. She sang on my song Never Be Lonely. And then I also flipped that song and got Cascada on it as well, which was a bit of a boyhood dream moment.
By the way, like, where's Shazam today, dude?
I know.
I miss the days where people go, oh, it's playing on the radio and it's Shazamming like crazy. The indications are going to be nuts. Like, look at the Shazam charts. Like,
Dude,
it's how you
those
knew.
are good times, bro.
I know.
But I feel like
I miss
we were
it.
literally just talking about this yesterday where what I love about those platforms, they were purely music platforms. So
And for the fans.
yeah, for the fans. So, you know, it was pure. So if people liked a record, they wanted to find out what it was. Whereas now you could have a piece of content blow up based on your song, but it doesn't always mean they like the song. And you might have the best song in the world, the content doesn't do anything.
The content, by the way, or like they just like the 30-second clip that they're getting.
This is it.
You find that time and time again. I think
Yeah.
there's a song that's going viral right now that people are like, I just like the 30 seconds. I don't want the full thing.
I remember reading about that with Steve Lacy when
I know the song that you're talking
yeah, and like where people just sing that moment and then that was it, you know.
But-
Steve Lacy's insane.
Totally. And he doesn't get the credit that he deserves because people just choose to give the attention to the
Yeah,
30 seconds
yeah.
as opposed to, I don't know, giving maybe 2 more minutes of your time or 3 more minutes of your time. And really
It's also
experience
like people kind of trend hopping a lot more nowadays, like quite intensely. And again, it's
This-
artists need time to incubate. I think where they try to chase everything all at once, like, you know, they're trying to have a viral hit as quickly as possible to justify their career, and then they have it and then they can't follow it up. So you get a lot more one-hit wonders nowadays.
Bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like in the pandemic, we saw more one-hit wonders between the year 2019 and 2022 than we have probably
Is this
ever
a genuine stat?
I mean, I played them
It's
and then
yeah.
never heard from them again.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
someone will do a study because I think what we're going to find is like the ramifications and the ripple effects of like what COVID meant on like human beings and culture and the way we interact, like many decades to figure it all out. But what we found during that time was more one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
More kids who like just stumbled upon something great
Yeah.
and then their whole life is turned upside down. And
I met Casso, who did Prada, and this guy had literally been making music for about a year.
It's almost,
And then he went and had the biggest dance record of the year. I think it must be close to 1 billion streams on one platform
but
right
then
now.
where
And
do you
then
go?
what? Then what? No, but they don't have the experience. They don't have the the width of knowledge to keep that going.
Where's the 10,000 hours?
That's what I'm saying. And it's like amazing in that moment. And then what? Do you know what I mean? And what does that do for music? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, to develop a story.
It actually, well, it increases this idea of trend hopping. It increases this idea that like my attention and my appetite is so quick, and the way I just cycle through music is I don't give it time and energy, and what I listen to on a Tuesday doesn't mean I'm going to listen to it on a Thursday. And
It bugs me
It's
out
bad.
that the way it exists on platforms is like, you know, I remember when a new song would come out. I love the radio because you get this. A record means more when someone talks about it, because it's like having a friend share it to you. That's what it is.
What you also find in studies is that people have lacked tastemakers, and people do crave like honest, trusted tastemakers
Yeah.
that aren't just dance videos. And that is something that radio was able to give you, was credibility and an understanding that like you didn't need to figure this out on your own.
Yeah, I mean, for us in the UK, we had like before Zane Lowe went to America, or
Yeah.
like Annie Mac. These were, I used to listen to these
they're
shows,
great.
and and when they talk up a record, you just love the song.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm excited to hear it. You learn a bit more about it, and then you know it was distillation. Whereas I've had to come off the apps now because it's just like too much information, and like I only go on like recommendation or like really focused listening. You know what I'm saying?
But what a
Because
shame,
too much,
right?
right? I know. It's intense, man. Like, and this is me as someone who professionally has been doing this for 15 years and as a musician, 25. So it's like, imagine what, like maybe a normal person doesn't even think about this stuff, but I don't know.
The whole thing is interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, something that will never die is marketing. You mentioned it. And
Yeah.
you released this, you did a party for this latest single
Yeah.
at the top of the Shard.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you get up there?
Oh, man. I'm a London boy. I got links everywhere.
I was going to say, like, what?
I had a friend who was working with the Shard, and I was like, oh, we should do something up there. It's like, why don't you just like throw a party up there and then release your single the same day, and let's go for a world record.
And you did.
Here we are, yeah.
But by the way,
Put that next to the Grammy nominations.
those things matter, right? Like,
Yeah.
like in a world where there is a lot of noise to cut through in some way.
Yeah, totally. I think that like being innovative in marketing is super cool. It's still fun. It's a part of the art form. I love it. When you think about all the greatest artists of all time, they're genius marketers. So I study that stuff, and hopefully the Shard is one moment for me.
What part of the whole thing comes the most naturally to you? Is it lyrics? Is it production? Is it the business?
Most natural to me is
You're very unique, dude. Like you produce and write, which a lot of people
So,
don't
like,
necessarily do.
My USP is I can write a good song pretty much any day with someone. Like, you put me in a studio with a good vocalist, we're getting a good song.
What is your job in that room?
It kind of varies. Like, sometimes it's whatever the room requires. So if you've got a big personality who's maybe needs a bit of direction, I'm able to like play the field on that. If you need me to do lyrics, I'll do lyrics. You need me to do melody, I'll do melody. You need me to start the idea, I'll start the idea. Whatever you need. Like, I just kind of slot in. I'm kind of old school like that. Like, I can do any job in the studio, and we just try to make it fun.
By the way, aren't those the type of people that are most vital in a studio?
We try, bro. Like, I feel like that's what I talked about Ryan Tedder. Like,
He's great.
Yeah, it's like that's the job, man. Like, we kind of I understand my skill set, and then I think about how to get the best out of what's in the room at that moment.
It's vital.
Yeah.
So when you're writing a song or starting it on your own, do you pull from reality, or do you just kind of like, where do you go in your head?
So there's a few ways that I do it. Like, if we're focusing on so we used to do it old school, like where literally write a song on guitar and then I make it into a dance record.
Yeah, but that's, by the way, you go old school. Isn't that the way music should
That's
still
the
be
way
made?
it used to be. Yeah, yeah.
Martin was just in here yesterday talking about like everything starts on a guitar or piano.
Yeah,
because if
yeah.
something's good acoustic, it will be
It's
great
gonna-
with anything.
The only problem with that sometimes in house music is you sometimes put too much vocal in. So this is with sometimes like the best dance records, and this is why I find dance music interesting, is because it's with pop music, your job is to create to keep listeners engaged every second of the song. Yeah. Whereas with dance music, it's more about the space, particularly in house music, and trying to like create tension. So you can sometimes when you're on the guitar, you can overwrite, and it becomes too much about the vocals, and then it doesn't work as well on a dance floor. So this is like the art of it, in my opinion, to get that balance. And there's certain records that have achieved that, like How Deep Is Your Love, Calvin Harris.
Totally.
I mean, Calvin Harris does it a lot. I would say out of everyone, he's really mastered that, like that space.
You're right. Like the right amount of lyrical like complexity.
Yeah.
And sonic.
Just enough.
Yes.
And then space, you know, to allow it to breathe so that, because when you're on a dance floor, your primary job is to dance. There might be a singing moment, but we want to, we want to feel it. We want to feel it, yeah.
What are the two things that those two genres share? Pop and EDM, pop and dance.
I guess they started to join forces around the EDM boom in America.
Like 2009.
Yeah, 2009 up to like 2017.
Yeah.
Where spearheaded by David Guetta, Calvin Harris, Avicii, R.I.P., where it's incredible songwriting with basically EDM drops. Very American sounding. The sound of those records are more polished, more shiny, whereas the house music like techno influences that we had were a bit more underground, a bit more grainy, so it doesn't always work on like American radio. So it kind of varies. Like for those guys, they can be as poppy as they want because they know they're gonna have this section of instrumental that's like crazy sonics with just a drop, no vocal. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas I would say classic house records like Gypsy Woman by Crystal Waters, Show Me Love, obviously the vocal's huge, but it's more about the je ne sais quoi of like combining these elements together that it's hard to recreate. And that's why often a lot of those records are remixes of the original. So if you listen to like Sometimes I Feel Like Putting My Hands Up in the Air, The Source by Candy Staton, the original is like 130 BPM breakbeat record, and then Frankie Knuckles did his thing. It's completely different, and I don't think you would have written that vocal to that music, and it's that tension that's where you get something special.
Great.
Yeah,
you're incredible.
Oh, I appreciate that, Zach.
I could talk to you for a long time. Thanks for hanging out.
Pleasure.
All of Jax's music, everything he's made, produced, written, it belongs on Amazon Music, and it's waiting for you. There's a link below. Thanks for hanging.
Pleasure, man. I appreciate the interview.
Literally anytime. Come to our real studio in LA.
Come on.
Jax Jones, everybody.
Let's go.